Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome to our viewers on onespotmedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands.
First up this evening, the country's effort to rebuild from Hurricane Melissa is now under threat due to the climbing temperatures.
Construction workers in western Jamaica, including Westmoreland, are reeling from the heat as the Super El Niño continues to take its toll on the island.
The construction workers say the heat is burning holes in their pockets as wages continue to plummet for the trade workers.
Kalisha Williams has their story.
These construction workers in Westmoreland are fighting a battle they cannot win. Nature is waging war on the construction site. Like the rest of the island, it has not rained here in weeks, and the heat is brutal.
The sun is very hot. You know, say, for a day we have to drink all 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles of water. We still have to think about lunch. We still have to drink 2 juice. And we still have fear for pay.
So that means they have been spending a lot more money than they would during the cooler months. But the salary these workers receive is barely enough to make ends meet.
If the salary is not there, there is no interest. When the sun is getting hotter, and you know how the sun is getting hotter out here in the construction field, how can the sun is getting hotter and the salary is getting low? It doesn't work.
Thank God for you, Mr. Jummans, because if I never him right now, wouldn't come on the job site, because 25 or 100 for black and now and then, so my man only want to get 10,000, someone get 12, you still have to turn up in the hot sun, so give her no motivation for the youth them.
As a result, there has been a shortage of construction workers in the parish since the temperatures started to increase. And at a time when many communities across the parish are under construction due to the impacts of Hurricane Melissa, there is a great demand for these workers. Clovis Drummond, who oversees this construction site, says many of the people rebuilding their homes are hotel workers, and they too have financial challenges.
The hotel is underpaying the staff, and the staff cannot pay the workers when them come to do their jobs to themselves. So therefore, we have to have problem. The construction field is getting weaker and weaker. But when the Chinese come, they get a proper salary for their job, and the locals, Jamaicans who born and raised working in the industry still cannot get a proper salary.
Since El Nino started to impact weather conditions across the globe, many construction workers have fallen ill. For instance, in the United States in July, several construction after falling ill while working in the dangerous heat. The Guardian newspaper also reported in July that the extreme heat was pushing people in countries like India further into poverty. It quoted a study which said researchers found that those working in highly physical jobs in sectors such as agriculture, construction, and transport lost an average 6.6% of their salaries in 2024 due to extreme heat. And with more hot days on the forecast for the rest of the year, the construction workers in Westmoreland are losing hope.
Time me waste, because they now come out and do them something. Right now, a man better feel better and go walk on the beach and try hustle a thing more than to come on construction site in a hot sun for nothing at all.
Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
Thanks, Kalisha. And staying with agriculture-related news, a local economist, Keenan Faulkner, says the effects of the current water shortage and agricultural production will compound the financial stress that Jamaicans are likely to face in the coming months. He says consumers should expect to pay more for farm produce and over an extended period.
Coupled with the current hydrological and meteorological drought currently being experienced by the island, the inflation outlook is skewed towards the upside, particularly in the domestic agriculture sector, and prices may be elevated for longer than initially anticipated, especially since the full effects of this El Nino weather phenomenon are yet to be ascertained. The agriculture and water sectors, therefore, will have to build even greater resilience going forward, given this confluence of negative shocks.
The Bank of Jamaica said headline inflation rose to 7.5% in July from 6.7% in June, marking a second consecutive month above the central bank's 4 to 6% target range.
And Experts are warning Jamaicans and the wider Caribbean to be fully prepared for potentially severe climate extremes for the remainder of the year and into next year. The warning came from the Barbados-based Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology and the University of the West Indies Climate Studies Group, MONA. They are calling for governments, businesses, farmers and households to take the necessary precautions as El Niño is expected to further strengthen, intensifying the hot and dry conditions being experienced in many parts of the region. Experts say people of the region must be particularly vigilant regarding extreme heat as August to October marks the peak of the heat season. Forecasts suggest that dry conditions will extend into 2027, while potentially record-breaking heat may ensue from March, April or May during next year's heat season.
To some news from St. Elizabeth now, farmers in Junction continue to reel from losses as massive bushfires decimate hundreds of acres of farmlands, crops, equipment, and in the latest incident, farm animals. Krista Campbell has this primetime news update.
Roads barely visible under thick blankets of smoke. A few feet away, winds fan the menacing flames of yet another bushfire that's threatening not only crops but animal lives. Scenes like these have become an almost daily occurrence in St. Elizabeth over the past few weeks. It's the fourth such fire in Junction alone within a 6-day period. On Friday, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green toured and promised help for last Wednesday's fire victims in Nemart Town Junction, St. Elizabeth. A day later, another fire in Junction, this time leveling about 50 acres of farmlands in Carlisle and Delightful districts. Farmers say it started about 10 o'clock Saturday morning and they're still counting their losses.
We lose 2 goats in the fire and they value about $40,000. One man cow, he put them born up in the fire.
Beneath a haze of smoke, firefighters struggle to contain the blaze. Another fire of unknown origin. But amidst concerns that residents are still lighting fires to burn garbage or farmers to clear lands for planting, another caution.
So I advise to give the people them stop burn fire in this time. But too much people are lose too much value are lose. Yard now a mash up, goat are dead, and animal are dead, and people are lose their value and stuff.
As the heat worsens, the Agriculture Minister is stressing that persons should not use fires to clear any lands or get rid of garbage.
We again want to urge citizens not to light fires in these times. The time is extremely dry, and once there's a spark, it can lead to devastation. The Ministry of Agriculture is embarking on a resensitization campaign starting tomorrow in St. Elizabeth with RADA and the RADA Connect team. We will do 2 sessions, one in the PJ Place area and also in Nemart Town, which is in the Junction area. Again, not just to sensitize our farmers, but to remind our citizens of the dangers of open flame, the dangers of slash and burn land clearing methods during these times.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
The Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA says the dry spell could also set back some of the farms still trying to recover from Hurricane Melissa. The RADA leadership warned if things do not improve, the effects could be felt as far as the Christmas period. The crops in the fields are not only due to the drought. Farm and bushfires are also increasing, destroying crops in the process.
Also concerned about like consumers, suppliers, concerned about crops for Christmas. We are some 4 months away from Christmas. Most of our crops are 3 months crops that is largely used in Christmas, our vegetable lines. We are hoping that by then we will, one, see some rainfall. We will see our full activation of our drought mitigation program, and that will have us seeing crops coming in abundance for Christmas. So that is our aim right now, is to ensure that our farmers get to work and we mitigate against the dry conditions.
CEO explained rather technical teams in the fields are trying to work with farmers to prevent bush fires.
So we are working with Jamaica Fire Brigade and other relevant agencies to support our farmers in prevention and preparedness mechanism through our farmer education program. We are also urging farmers to avoid unnecessary burning. You know, a matter of fact, they should not burn because this do affect soil organisms and that are extremely important to our soil.
Still to come this evening, 2 men killed in separate incidents involving the police on Monday. And in business news, local economist warns reduction in ships using the Panama Canal could impact Jamaicans. We'll have those and more right after this break.